I've got a couple of poems to share with you today. The first one I wanted to share with you was one I wrote back in November. It's called A Poem for Palestine. Trigger warnings for mentions of genocide and violence. But I'm sure it's something that we've all been exposed to, and that's why we're here and supporting and understanding why it's so important to vote for someone who believes in humanity and stands for humanity in all the ways that the current MP for this constituency does not. So let's bring in a change, okay? Will the revolution not be televised? Will the genocides not be televised? Will the violations of human rights not be televised? Will the blood-curdling cries not be televised? The violations of human rights will be televised. Excuses and lies will be televised. Hatred and spite will be televised, and only opinions and faces of a certain type will be televised. But thankfully, we don't need to rely upon TV. Through social media, the truth can be streamed through a multitude of screens. The mass executions and the mass hypocrisy and the pathetic puppetry behind so-called democracies. Following safe routes, yet finding mortal danger. Brown bodies in white body bags and many remaining nameless. Orphaned children and childless parents, all in the name of fighting terror. Are you not terrified by what is and is not televised? And sure, you may close your eyes and wish to live a sheltered life. I wonder if your wishes are shared by the people in Palestine. The situation is undescribable and the destruction is escalating. But if you're against apartheid, genocide and military invasions, it is clear to see that speaking up is more than a moral obligation. But in 2024 vision, some veer their eyes from modern day colonization. While missiles light up Gaza's night skies like deadly constellations, and under the sun drones drop bombs in murderous murmurations, targeting water supplies, bakeries, sources of electricity, and cutting off communication, while beneath the rubble, human beings are being buried alive and left to die in isolation. Dusty grey, torn and tattered clothing in blood-red saturation, but the injured who have endured and survived so far still may not make it, as hospitals are bombed out without access to aid or medication. Palestine and her people are gripped in a chokehold, a deliberate strangulation. White phosphorus falling, causing burns and suffocation, but the screams of horror in other tongues are not lost in translation. We are witnessing an extermination, and we must demand an end to the Israeli occupation. We must demand a ceasefire now before the land upon this plain is plunged closer to the depths of hell, and it has to be all of us, or none of us are free. Stuff the Western individualism, we must embrace collectivity. From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. Thank you.